Though Matt toiled daily like an ox, he barely survived 400 Martian days. Fortunately, as a top biologist, he had a sudden inspiration after using the restroom, like an explorer finding a new land. He hit on a great idea to boost his dinner supply. Several vacuum-packed fresh potatoes waited in the pantry. Thus, a pile of vacuum-packed potatoes waited outside. With water, Matt could transform Martian soil into his paradise, growing masses of potatoes no hesitation. Without hesitation, Matt packed the surplus lab equipment into boxes and wrapped the lab's interior in plastic like a new parcel. He scattered a layer of Martian soil on the ground, and before you knew it, Matt became like an architect, building a vegetable greenhouse worth billions. An upcoming task, he marked out the vegetable beds with a shovel, then, like a puzzle, mixed dried manure with water in a bucket. To hope for more seeds, Matt split all the potatoes in half and spaced out the manure in the soil. Then he planted half a potato on each manure mountain. After covering potatoes with soil and watering them, Matt planted the whole field in under half a day like a Martian farmer. The next big headache for him was finding a water source. Matt wasn't too shabby in chemistry. He quickly pulled off a hydrogen experiment to score enough water. After a 2-week-long wait, the potatoes Matt planted on Mars finally sprouted out of the ground. This means the food issue in 400 solar days is salty as food. Now, he needed to think about how to rescue himself. The plan was for NASA to execute the Ares 4 mission in 4 years, talk about a long-term goal. A year ago, a cargo ship was landed early in Sky Parallel Valley. If Matt found it first, he could return to Earth. But he was 3,200 km away. Though a rover was available, it only ran 35 km per charge and awkward, fast and furious. So, to get there, it would at least take 50 solar days, and ensuring supplies on the journey became a conundrum. Though where success was nearly impossible, Matt bravely tried. He had no other choice. Even with full preparation, the minus 132 Atilde-C Martian night left him struggling like in an ice bucket. For safety, Matt terminated the mission early and returned to base. This minor issue didn't deter him. The next day, he casually unearthed a radioactive isotope generator to warm the ship. What a lucky break. Since the generator contained radioactive elements, the first thing the crew did upon arriving on Mars was give it a proper. Then Matt carefully wrapped the gadget and put it in the rover's back seat, getting an infinite nuclear heater, a wealth-making tool. Although the supply issues for the long trip were still unsolved, the good news was that the first batch of potatoes Matt planted finally bloomed. He carefully harvested 400 giant potatoes. At the same time, the rover's movement sparked urgent concern back at NASA HQ. By comparing satellite images from different dates, they concluded that Matt was still alive. It was quite the nail-biter. However, NASA's leaders were more focused on announcing Matt's survival to the public than rescuing him, especially after a grand farewell ceremony just the day before. Just as they were wrestling with how to handle public opinion while away on Mars, Matt suddenly made a new discovery. Talk about a cosmic surprise. This time, instead of heading to Sky Parallel, he drove in the completely opposite direction. This unusual move immediately caught the attention of Vincent, the Mars mission supervisor. With no time to explain, they both rushed to the cafeteria. They removed the aerial photograph of the Martian Arcady planet hanging on the wall, took a quick measurement of the distance, and Vincent instantly deduced Matt's destination for this trip, with no time at all for explanations. He immediately flew to California's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and, as expected, Matt found the 1997 launch relic. Is this his? Yes. Awesome. Let's see. Perfect. Awesome. After a storm, base communication was cut off, so the Pathfinder with interstellar comms became a space savior. Luckily, thanks to Mars dry conditions, Matt successfully rebooted the Pathfinder. Talk about weirdly dry. Even the Earth-based backup received Pathfinder's signal, and engineers remotely activated its camera like playing a remote game. 30 minutes later, the Pathfinder successfully rebooted its camera, just like a delivery guy in a rush. Realizing that NASA might have picked up the signal, Matt immediately pulled out 3 pre-prepared signs. He placed them in front of the camera and asked, "Did you get my signal?" "Yes, no, wait. Come on, click the camera." As the camera turned, Matt was as excited as a kid, shouting yes. But a new issue arose since Pathfinder had just one rotating still camera. If the 26 letters and question card were placed around the detector, each sign would only cover an arc of 13 degrees, making it impossible for him to tell where the camera was pointing, leaving Matt with a headache like his signs. Fortunately, the freshly baked potatoes sparked inspiration in him like a light bulb going off. He quickly pulled up 16 sign templates from a teammate's computer and made a batch of new signs based on those talk about signage revival. The distant Earth-based engineers quickly caught on, setting up the same signs around the bucket machine, just like a kindergarten puzzle game. After brief testing, they sent Matt instructions. Thus, Matt texted NASA for the first time in 2 months. What joyous news! By this method, engineers swiftly taught Matt to hack the rover's computer. After entering 20 commands, the rover's computer successfully connected with NASA HQ. However, when he found out that NASA hadn't told his teammates he was alive. Subtitles. Matt instantly made a joke and shouted out, "This is terrifying." Under enormous public pressure, NASA had no choice but to inform the other astronauts returning to Earth that Matt was alive. Thus began the astronaut rescue mission. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.